By the show of hands, how many of you all have children? Anybody? Anybody? I bet in today's world, anyone that has children wants their child to grow up to be healthy, strong, full of energy. Those of you who actually want to go through the extra headache of the crying, the bickering, the fighting that goes on with having children. As for me, I've been blessed to have 3 children. If you can imagine, that's 3 times the headache. But unfortunately for me, however, one of my child has asthma. The Merck Manual of 2013 stated that over 25 million people are affected with asthma. 25 million. The QVAR and NIH, which is the National Institute of Health, both stated that over 6 to 7 million of those 25 is children. As some of you might know, raising a child can be difficult. However, raising one with any medical issues, disorders, or diseases may be more challenging. I just want to inform you here today of what asthma is, the effect it has on children, and how we deal with it in our personal life. Before we get started, you might ask, what is asthma? According to the asthma.com, asthma is a chronic, long-term disease that inflames the narrows of the airway of your lungs. Asthma affects the breathing so much that it causes you to make a wheezing sound. Asthma also can affect the way you speak and make it hard to breathe. Asthma also affects children when they're sleeping. When they're sleeping, asthma can affect them by their coughing. Sometimes the coughing sounds like a roaring lion. According to the Kids Health Org, children with asthma have inflamed airways that produce lots of mucus. This mucus has a buildup that makes the wheezing sound and makes the chest flare up or the nose. What are several symptoms I may need to be aware of in case of asthma? If seeing symptoms, you should contact your child's physician and have them checked out to see if they are actually affected by asthma. Some symptoms that you may see for asthma, maybe pale skin, their skin tone. Another symptom, a common symptom, is shortness of breath. Nose flaring, chest beating hard are other symptoms that may arise for asthma. Now that I have given you a brief explanation on what asthma is, some of its symptoms, now I would like to go a little bit further into how it affects us and how we deal with it in the nature of our lifestyle. As for asthma, some of you may know there is no cure for asthma. As of right now, there is no cure, but there is a way to control it to make life a little bit easier. When I say to make life easier, there are several medications that are available to help some of the symptoms. Through research and tests, they have found that many different medicines are helped to relieve some of the symptoms from attacks. As for us in our household, my son Trayvon, he uses a inhaler, or the inhaler that he uses has steroids in it. These steroids open up the lungs, open up the passageway, it makes it easier for him to breathe. He also has a Bruterol, which is a breathing machine, which he gets on twice a day, before school and before bedtime. Without the use of medicines, there are other ways that you can help prevent attacks. In our household, we like to monitor outdoor activities. We also like to exercise regularly to try to keep his energy level up. Also, eating healthier is a must. We also watch what we take in our bodies, and this goes through the whole household. In addition to learning about asthma and how it affects my son, it also has helped me to stop smoking, which is also another way that affects people with asthma. Also, another way that affects people with asthma is dust, pollen, or sometimes exercise. It has been a privilege for me to be able to discuss my experience with raising a child with asthma. I realize that many people may be battling a disease that is more troubling than this one. The main purpose for this presentation is not for you to feel bad about our situation, but to be more aware of what somebody else may be going through. Some people are tricked into thinking that asthma cannot affect me. It's not in our family. It doesn't run in our family. Wrong. Asthma is the equal opportunity phenomenon that is triggered in anyone. As for me and my family, we live a great life with not too many flare-ups because we stick to a strict asthmatic plan. Keeping up with regularly doctor visits with my child physician is a way that we prevent a lot of flare-ups. If you was to see my son Trayvon in the yard, you'll probably see him running, jumping around, just playing like a chicken with his head cut off. You probably would think he doesn't even have asthma. But again, I'd just like to say thank you for the time, for you listening to me explain of my life and how we battle asthma. Thank you.